Aloha. Let's try that again. Aloha. Aloha. Outstanding. Welcome to the 2024 Men's Ironman World Championship. We are incredibly honored to share this experience with all of you. Nearly 50 years ago, in 1978, 15 athletes had a dream, they had a vision, they believed that anything was possible. And the origin of Ironman began here in Hawaii. And it's incredibly special to come together this year in 2024 and share this experience with all of you. I want to begin by expressing my gratitude to a number of people. First is the state of Hawaii, the county of Hawaii, and here our family in Kailua Kona. This community opens up its doors, it opens up its home every year to the Ironman community for us to come together. And we are tremendously grateful for their generosity each and every year. So let's give the state of Hawaii, the county of Hawaii, and Kailua Kona a big round of applause for their generosity in welcoming us every year. I also want to thank our partners who make all of this possible. But I really want to talk about our athletes. I had an opportunity this morning to swim out to the coffee boat. My first time here in Kailua Kona. My first swim out to the coffee boat, which I'd heard so much about 9 months ago, joining the Ironman group. This experience that you have to have. And I swam out there and I was talking to a number of the athletes, asking them about what is your Ironman why? What inspires you to come to this moment? We have 2,400 athletes here in Kona this week from 85 different countries, ranging from the age of 20 to 84. Each of them has their own story, their own unique journey that brings them here this week. But there's a shared belief, there's a common belief in that anything is possible that brings everyone together from around the world. And I want all of our athletes from around the world to know that you are our inspiration. You are the reason we do what we do. And certainly, speaking of athletes, we have over 50 professional athletes joining us here at the Ironman World Championship. We have 10 joining me on stage here. These are the best athletes in the world. The Ironman World Championship is not only the pinnacle of triathlon. This is one of the most iconic sporting events in the world. And to have these athletes here with us this week, living their dream, they've worked their entire lives for this opportunity. And I want each and every one of you to know, and those that are watching from around the world to know, you're our inspiration. You inspire us to be better every single day. And I want you to know that we're on this journey with you. I want to end by sharing with all of you just my personal gratitude. Being part of this Ironman community is one of the greatest honors of my life. The last 9 months have been extraordinarily unique and special for me, and I just wanted to say mahalo to all of you. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful race this week.
Across to Kristian Blummenfelt representing Norway. Chris, if I'm not mistaken, when I bumped into you after a run in Frankfurt at the Mainova Ironman European Championship, you mentioned you had yet to ride your TT bike since the previous Ironman World Championship. I would imagine you've done a bit more of that now.
I was riding a little bit more. I had a few sessions, but between the World Championship in Lahti and Frankfurt, I think I did like 4 sessions in total. So that race came as a big surprise to me. The fact that I was able to hold, finish off that strong, even though I felt like I was smashed for the last 50k on the bike. I was quite surprised with how I almost turned up with new running legs when I start running. So it will be interesting to see how it goes out here on Queen K in a very different sort of conditions. We got a lot of help with from the weather in Frankfurt. For the condition, it was raining for most of the time, so I'm looking forward to see how the bike legs will be this time around.
The running legs seem to have surprised you in Frankfurt. I mean, a 2:32, including a very viral pit stop.
Quick and efficient.
We won't go into those details. The mental picture is still very much there, but it's almost like you did that by design to give all these gentlemen around you a little bit of fright and going, oh my goodness, Kristian's running a 2:32.
Yeah, or I was just starting the run there and thinking that, okay, let's try to go out in a quite aggressive pace, and most likely I'm going to fade off, but see how far I can sort of get into the marathon, if it's 25 or 30k, and I did start sort of feeling the distance halfway through there, but quite pleased with how the legs were, especially the last 10k.
You've won pretty much everything. You are an Ironman World Champion, but how much does being Ironman World Champion in Kona mean to you?
Yeah, there's, I think for all triathletes you want to win this race. Like, it's what a sport was born, and I do like the fact that the World Championship is moving around and having different courses for different athletes that's suiting like different skill sets, and like the course in Nice next year is something that's very motivated, or like motivating me, but to be able to nail this course and this humidity and sort of it's something I feel like it's what I'm missing.
Now, I know that, you know, all the various sponsors and bike suppliers and kit makers spend a huge amount of money on aerodynamics. Could we sponsor you a razor blade, maybe?
If you have any contacts, I would be happy to put me in contact with Gillette or something. It's actually good for the humidity. It's keeping a little bit like moisture to your skin, and especially on the run, it's getting the feeling of the heat is less out in Gillette. So
is that part of the Norwegian method?
Yeah, it's a wiping method.
Norway's Kristian Blummenfelt, thank you so much. It's been a journey.
Yeah, my journey brought me to Nice last year, but then I only were watching a very inspiring performance by Sam, and but to be on the sideline is not what an athlete is designed for, and I felt like left out, but there was not much I can do. I had an injury, and also was not like feeling like myself. Not that I really know how I'm supposed to feel, but I'm really glad to be back here, and I'm not sure if I'm pretty certain that it's not going to be the same as last time, but it's no matter good to be back on the big island of Hawaii and enjoy the atmosphere.
Even though the last time we were all here in terms of the men's professional race was 2022, and you did that incredible fastest ever Kona time of 7:40.24, it just feels like it's a different race, and there's a sense that it's going to be closer, harder and faster.
Yeah, I think so. Like everyone is improving a lot, and everyone is knowing what the limits are, even though the limits are never there. It's always better than what you think it is. So it's not long ago where 8 hours on island was something insane, but now it's basically a top 10 performance. So it doesn't make sense from like 10 years ago. So I think it will be some groundbreaking performances this year. It depends a little bit on conditions, of course. The wind out on Hawaii has been insane last week, and I was a bit scared. I have gone quite optimistic on my bike position, and the wind sometimes is a bit challenging on the big island. I didn't really notice it the last time because the condition was pretty kind to us, but now it's too late to go short, so now I'm gonna stay long.
He's referring to, I mean, some of the people were joking about suddenly this new bike position for Kristian and Gustav, where they're just trying to do that to trick all the other pros. The Gustav Iden of 2022 becoming Ironman World Champion. Obviously, you're a different human being 2 years later, but can Gustav Iden be Ironman World Champion again this year?
Nah, not this year. That would be almost disappointing in one way, because I have not been training as good and as like high quality as I've done before. So if I won this year, it would just mean that I'm a talent, you know. I don't need to train that good to win, and to figure out that, yeah, when you're 28 years old and it wasn't the training, it wasn't really what you did that made you win. You were just like born as a talent. That would be extremely disappointing. So hopefully I will do good, but not too much better than what my training is telling me to do.
For the first time in history, we have someone who's going to become Ironman World Champion, potentially be disappointed. Tack, Gustav, tusen tack. Thank you very much. We move to Ditlev. Good to have you back with us here again. What is it about the Vikings?
I have no idea what it is about the Vikings. I think it's just, at least in Denmark, we've had some good role models to look up to, and I've been very inspired by some of the Danish triathletes, and also some of the, Kristian and Gustav were like the top of the sport when I was racing as an age grouper. So we have been kind of looking up to those guys, and now I'm here racing against them. So I think it's just like the environment and pushing each other to new limits.
After 2022, the penalty in the 8th place, this is surely not just you want to become world champion, but redemption. It's twofold.
Yeah, I've been having nightmares about that race for 2 years, and especially also for about last year in Nice, where Sam completely smoked everyone. I think that hurt even more. I felt like 22 was a bit out of my control in a way, but last year I was just not good enough to fight for the win, and that really hurt.
Is that why you've been spending a lot of time in Boulder with the altitude training? You've changed things up because you don't want to hurt again?
It's I did altitude, and it's not exactly Boulder, it's like a small town outside of Boulder, quite a lot higher. So we tried that in the spring, mainly as a test for this race to see if it would be beneficial or not, and then did heat prep actually after that as well to kind of simulate the Kona protocol. And then, I performed really well with the full distance I did after that. So we kind of copied some of the things we did back then, and also learned some things and made some mistakes in that first camp that we really corrected now, and then went back leading into Kona now, and the build-up has been really, really good.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard you say in one of the social media videos you were quoted as saying, is like basically you and Sam need each other.
I think it would be a good constellation if we both get away, because I'm quite certain Sam believes he's running faster than me, and I think I'm running faster than him. So we would both have a reason to work together on the bike, I guess. So I think that would be a good scenario for us both. Obviously, the guys sitting left to me and Patrick are going to run at least what they have done in the past, have been maybe a little bit faster than Sam and I, but it's also going to be interesting to see how it will affect the running after a really hard bike that I'm pretty certain we'll have on Saturday.
Tack, Magnus. Talking about running, it's only appropriate that we speak to our two-time Ironman World Champion, Patrick Lange. Patrick, I've noticed that you seem really happy and really relaxed, which is very scary for all the other men who are racing you on Saturday. That bodes well.
Yeah, it's been great to be back, you know. Just 2 years seem to be too long. I'd love to come here every day, but every year mostly for racing. And also to you, Scott, we really miss the women, so please bring back the women to our race. So that would be much appreciated as well.
In my script it says sleeping moving along.
Then Kristian get a shave as the woman gets back, you know?
You're known as one of the nice guys, and there's that old cliche that nice guys come last, but you've won this twice. You know what it takes to win. You know what it takes to step on the top step. I remember vividly, probably more than your 2 wins, it's when you were on the podium for the first time and you rushed over to Mark Allen and you apologized for breaking his run course record. You know what it takes to win.
Yeah, I know what it takes to be respectful to not just to my opponents, just also to be to the greats of the sport, you know. And I think especially Mark did so much for the sport. I think we all would not sit here. Maybe all of you in the room would not sit here without those great, you know, battles they had, and they really moved the sport so much forward. So I'm super grateful to call him a friend. Also Dave, and yeah, they just keep on inspiring me still. So yeah, pure role models, and really grateful for them.
Potentially another Iron War happening on Saturday. You were the first athlete to go sub 8 here. It's almost 5 years since then. What do you think has changed?
You know, from a cost perspective, nothing really changed that dramatically. I think the competition got closer and closer, especially, you know, the young generation. Thanks again, Matt, for being again the oldest on the
Just like in Frankfurt.
Yeah, just like in Frankfurt. No, and it's just great to see the sport developing so rapidly. I think especially the both Norwegian guys, they really keep pushing the pace on and keep the pressure on us to develop and you know, get the best out of us. And I think this tense battle is just good for the sport. It's good for all of us. It moves everyone up. And yeah, let's see where this takes us on Saturday. I'm pretty certain that we see the best race in maybe of all times, because I think we're gonna have the tightest battle for top 5 out there ever.
He wears the bib number 1. He's our reigning Ironman World Champion, Sam. Lovely to have you here. How different is it to be sitting in Kona in this press conference on the eve before the eve of the big battle?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Couldn't be any more different, to be honest. 2 years ago, I kind of came here with my dad, and as a nobody in the sport almost, and that day 2 years ago was amazing for me, because I could have, I mean, only Gustav came past me, but there could have been 10 guys that ran past me, and I probably still would have been content with my race, you know. So yeah, it's kind of surreal, especially this whole week that I've had leading up to the race has been a lot in a very positive way. And also a lot of kind of new things and new demands that come with it. But yeah, overall, I mean, I've been training really well, and I've done everything I can to defend that title, and I will do everything I can. And yeah, I'm certain that the best guy will win.
There's been a huge investment in tech and the gear that you guys are all using. I had the pleasure of speaking to you earlier this week, and you talked through your bike and all the other gear. But the thing that struck me as probably more important than all of that is when I asked you what does it take to win and to be at your best, you mentioned it's to be happy.
Yeah, 100%. I think yeah, happy and to be kind of balanced, have a certain balance in your life, and that's what I've tried to keep as much as possible this year, especially in the second half of the season. Really kind of go back to what I was doing, having a very simple life, training with my dad and with my core team, with Arthur, who's my training partner. And yeah, I mean, I've been in a privileged situation to, like, I won last year, and kind of I've been on an upward trajectory, so I don't need to change anything. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing and keep trusting that process. And yeah, that's amazing. And as I said, the main feeling I get anytime I come to a World Championship is just gratitude, you know, to be racing the best guys in the world, and to be kind of just in that conversation alone is amazing to me, and yeah, so hopefully I can show up happy and race well.
You're wearing the number 1, which means you've got a target on your back. I mean, I would imagine you've studied all your competitors very, very carefully. Who are you watching the closest?
Who am I watching the closest? I mean, obviously the guys that are here. Yeah, these 2 Norwegian boys, clearly, as a few people have said already, they came and pushed the sport really quickly 2 years ago. And I feel like kind of all of us have just like tried to catch up effectively, especially last year, and then now it's again getting a bit closer, which is great. And yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting bike, a very hard bike. There's obviously Magnus and me, but also Robert Callum, I think, is a very strong cyclist who could impact the race quite a lot, and probably who he might be racing just for the bike course record, which could be interesting as well. And then, yeah, I'm sure that Patrick and Kristian are certain of how fast they can run on this course. So, yeah, it will be super exciting. And then, obviously, you can't count out the defending champ. And I think Gustav's doing a good job of playing it down, but he could pull something out of the bag, yeah, and I hope he does.
You're very much, as a professional athlete, it's a family business. It's your dad, it's your whole family, everybody's here. I noticed the relationship with your partners and sponsors is very family-like. But here we talk about ohana, and we talk about the magic of Kona and the spirit of aloha. And if you listen to Mark Allen, he talks about how he couldn't win until he embraced that. Have you embraced it?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's that is my biggest strength at the end of the day. You know, I've never felt like I'm particularly talented in any way. I just feel like probably my biggest gift has been the people around me, and maybe motivating people around me. And yeah, I mean, if I do win on Saturday, it's definitely thanks to my ohana. Yeah.
Sam Laidlaw from France, bonne chance. Thank you so much. We're going to now open